This story begins on the 5th of May in class, when a teacher tells Kurumi to translate a book. Kurumi stands up and agrees to the teacher's request. As she starts reading, her classmates suddenly look at her in surprise, clearly impressed by how confidently and clearly she reads. One boy, Fujimori, seated nearby, appears especially surprised and clearly admires Kurumi. He finds her incredibly cool and thinks it is only natural, considering she is an idol. While seated, she is dignified and well-composed. Even with all the attention focused on her, she remains expressionless. Fujimori is deeply impressed and loves this about her. Later on, Kurumi is suddenly surrounded by many girls who admire her. They ask how she practices her pronunciation and whether she could teach them. Kurumi responds by saying that she has to go home today, but she can help them the next day. Every time she speaks, the girls become even more impressed and rejoice with happiness that she accepted. Fujimori watches in excitement and wishes he could be part of that lesson too. Kurumi adds that she promises to help them the following day. Suddenly, Fujimori decides to try joining and asks if he can participate as well. When she does not respond, he repeats the question, explaining that he is not good at English. Immediately, all the students surrounding Kurumi turn toward Fujimori with cold stares after hearing his request. Fujimori becomes flustered and suddenly speechless. One of the girls asks him what he just said. Feeling cornered, he grows even more nervous and ends up dismissing his own words. This is how Fujimori always is. Whenever he becomes the center of attention, he freezes. He dislikes standing out and is the very definition of a plain guy. He feels that Kurumi-san is completely opposite from himself, yet he admires her from afar. During the entrance ceremony, he could not believe his eyes. Everything he had dreamed of was unfolding before the entire school. A dignified posture that showed no hint of nervousness and a speech delivered with confidence. He was stunned. While holding a keychain of an anime girl, he thinks that Kurumi resembles Tsuminton from Magic Star Serena, his favorite character. To him, she looks just like her. Suddenly, Kurumi turns her gaze toward Fujimori, and he quickly hides the keychain, sweat forming across his face. He feels relieved that she did not notice it. He believes that if anyone saw the keychain, they would think he was strange. With that thought in mind, he decides to keep it hidden for now. Kurumi then announces that she has nowhere else to be and will head home. She says goodbye to her classmates, who, of course, are impressed by everything she does. They soon decide to leave as well. Fujimori watches everything from a distance. He feels invisible to her, and his only wish is for Kurumi to at least know that he exists. He then heads to his locker to gather his things, only to realize that his pea clothes are missing. He immediately begins to panic, wondering if he left them in the locker room. He is certain he brought them with him. Suddenly, he realizes that they might be in the trash, thrown away by mistake after PE class. He grows more anxious, convinced that he accidentally discarded them. He walks around the school, looking everywhere he can, questioning where he could have thrown them away. He starts worrying about how he had planned to get home early to watch a certain video, but instead he is now desperately searching for his clothes. After checking several trash bins, he decides to give up and head home, accepting that he will probably be scolded by his parents. While looking through the bins one last time, Kurumi's presence suddenly catches his attention. He becomes distracted and deeply impressed, his face turning red. Simply watching her walk feels beautiful to him, and she appears dazzling in his eyes. He sees this as a chance and wants to talk to her. Just as he is about to approach, one of the students walking by bumps into him, causing him to fall to the ground. One of the boys laughs and asks if he just hit him. Fujimori stands up and says that he is fine. One of the boys then recognizes him as someone from their class. Another seems uninterested and questions whether that is really the case. That same boy then asks for Fujimori's name. Fujimori begins to panic, surprised that his classmates are asking for his name. Stunned, he mumbles his words. As he is about to answer, he glances aside and realizes that Kurumi is walking away. The boy who bumped into him dismissively tells him that his name does not matter. Fujimori stands there in shock as everything unfolds. The boys then mock him, saying that no one would want to know the name of a gloomy introvert like him. They laugh together, calling it hilarious. Fujimori forces an awkward laugh, agreeing that what they said is true. Not being able to fit in with everyone in class, his classmates could not even remember his name. The person he looks up to does not even know he exists. He messes up whenever he tries to talk. He lacks confidence in himself, and there is nothing special about him. He has known this for a long time. He suddenly realizes that Kurumi is long gone. He recalls his time in elementary school, when his classmates told him he could not play tag with them because he was too slow and his voice was too quiet. They decided to go somewhere else without him. They even chose not to invite him to class events because he was gloomy. They added that he did not even have someone to talk to. Suddenly, a voice is heard, asking why he is always by himself. He knows his flaws better than anyone. That voice asks if no one cares about him. He is asked if he wants to go to karaoke and he agrees. That voice belongs to Kurumi, who is standing behind him. He suddenly turns around to see who it is, panics, and falls to the ground again in shock. He is so nervous that he cannot speak. He is surprised that Kurumi is talking to him and that she is the one who greeted him with a smile. He tries to respond but mumbles again, his face turning red. She shows him a plastic bag. Fujimori is confused by her vague action. Inside the bag is his P uniform and he is stunned. Kurumi explains that he had mentioned losing it in the classroom earlier and that the shop lady said she had accidentally opened a brand new one and did not know what to do with it, so Kurumi decided to take it. Fujimori is overwhelmed and confused. Kurumi then tells him that he can have it. Fujimori continues panicking internally over the fact that Kurumi is talking to him. From a distance, the student who bumped into him watches, clearly irritated that Kurumi is interacting with Fujimori. He approaches her, greeting her casually and commenting that she is even kind to gloomy nerds, adding that he is seriously falling for her. He asks if she is heading home and suggests going together. He also mentions that he will be part of the group receiving English help from her the next day. Kurumi suddenly looks at him seriously and asks who he might be. The boy is visibly confused by her response. His friends, watching from a distance, are equally shocked by how she reacted to him. The boy's friends mock him, calling him lame, and begin laughing. He snaps back at them to shut up. Kurumi stands up and walks away, saying she will see Fujimori later. Fujimori tries to speak and she glances at him, asking what he wants to say. Her cold gaze draws everyone's attention and Fujimori worries that all eyes are on him. He suddenly remembers that day. Kurumi-sen looked like Suminton, but more than that, her presence, one that steals the gaze of everyone, is what truly overwhelms him. Fujimori believes he is a man with nothing to offer, a plain person no one would be interested in. Yet this moment makes him realize something. The thought that Kurumi is meeting with him makes him happy. Kurumi waits for his response as he trembles. He feels a desire to change because he wants to get closer to her. He finally thanks her for everything. She smiles and says he is welcome, calling him by name, Fujimori-kun. She then turns and continues walking. The students watching from afar are stunned. And as Fujimori-kun, Kurumi's words resonate deeply within him. He feels that he has fallen in love with her. Back at home, Kurumi arrives home, takes off her shoes, and hums a song. She walks straight to her room and announces that she is home. Her room is filled with pictures of Tsuminton from Magic Star Serena, Fujimori-kun's favorite character. However, another side of her room reveals countless photos of Fujimori-kun, capturing nearly every movement he makes. She softly calls his name. She then takes out Fujimori-kun's real piece shirt and presses it against her chest, her face flushing as she thinks about him and reflects on how he was kind to her today. She pulls out her memo book with Fujimori-kun's name written on it and begins writing about her day. She notes that on May 22nd, she spoke to Fujimori-kun for the first time. Blushing, she adds details. His gym shoes are 26 centimeters. His gym uniform is size M. He is not good at English, and he keeps a Tsuminton acrylic keychain in his locker. She suddenly stops writing and pauses. Moments later, she hugs the shirt she took and begins thinking about Fujimori-kun. Her face flushed as she thanks him. She walks up to the wall of his photos and comments on how well he is doing, noting that he looks cute from a certain angle. She says she is happy that she spoke to him for the first time, but also worries that she must be careful not to reveal her true self. She begins sniffing the shirt, reminding herself to stay cautious. While doing so, she thinks of Tsuminton and notes that it is her favorite character as well. She then stops and moves to the wall filled with Tsuminton pictures, wondering if Fujimori-kun still likes the character. She expresses how glad she is that he has remained the same after all this time. She lies down on her bed with the shirt covering her face, calling his name and confessing that she likes him. Meanwhile, as Fujimori-kun heads home, he feels genuinely happy that Kurumi knows his name. In the next scene, Kurumi is dreaming. Her classmates are debating who to choose for their group, and one of the girls points at Kurumi, noting that she is alone and suggesting they invite her. Another girl quickly refuses, saying that although they used to get along back then, Kurumi was different from what they had imagined. Suddenly, the alarm rings. Kurumi opens her eyes, waking abruptly from her dream. She lets out a sigh as she realizes it was only a dream. At school, Fujimori-kun is thinking about how, the other day, he spoke for about 2 minutes with the girl he admires, Kurumi-san. He is so lost in thought that he is not paying attention to his friend speaking to him nearby. He is daydreaming about how he talked to Kurumi for 2 minutes and how she even said his name. Fujimori-kun mumbles a good morning to his friend and asks what is wrong. His friend suddenly replies that it is nothing. Fujimori-kun's goal is to speak to Kurumi for 2 minutes and 10 seconds. As she enters the classroom, she does not say anything. He notices her and immediately feels nervous. While panicking, he tells himself to focus and reminds himself that he needs to start talking. He cannot help but notice every detail about her and believes she is incredibly cool. He tries to force his body to move so he can say something, but it refuses to cooperate. He calls her name, but his voice is barely audible as many students surround Kurumi, causing his words to fade into the crowd. He attempts to mention the previous day and thank her, but again his voice is barely heard. He eventually decides to sit down, feeling that it is impossible, and apologizes to himself for being overconfident. Fujimori-kun sits alone while the rest of the students gather around her. Kurumi briefly glances in his direction, then reaches into her bag, takes out her earbuds, and puts them on. She has calculated that he spoke to her for 2 minutes and 18 seconds. She presses play on her phone and listens to a recording of Fujimori-kun's voice. Her face flushes warmly as she realizes she successfully recorded his thank you. Today, she wants to record even more of his voice. From a distance, Fujimori-kun continues to admire Kurumi, even though she appears motionless while listening. Suddenly, his friend asks if he likes Kurumi. Fujimori-kun quickly denies it, saying that he is just curious. He adds that she is perfect and ideal, but he only admires her. He admits that he might be overthinking things and repeats that he is simply curious. His friend watches him quietly and sighs. Kurumi-san is somewhat different from what he had imagined, and he likes how confident she is. He then tells his friend that tomorrow he will properly say good morning to Kurumi. Fujimori-kun does not want to make any mistakes. After school, one of the girls says goodbye to Kurumi, telling her she will see her tomorrow. A nearby teacher then asks Kurumi to lock the classroom, explaining that the student on duty is absent. Kurumi realizes that she is the responsible one and agrees to the request. Fujimori-kun watches from afar, admiring everything she does. She suddenly recalls the day she met him and how he showed her kindness. Ever since that day, she has been thinking about Fujimori-kun's ideal type. Still after school, Fujimori-kun waits by the classroom door near 2 closed lockers, thinking about how he should say good morning to Kurumi. He repeatedly dismisses his ideas, worrying that they sound too basic and considers making his greeting more refreshing. He practices different gestures and movements while saying good morning, hoping to impress Kurumi when she sees him. Eventually, he declares that he has figured it out, convinced he found the perfect way to greet her. At that moment, his friend appears and asks what he is talking about. Fujimori-kun explains that he is just practicing a greeting. He says that the way he greets people affects how they see him, so he thought it would be best to practice. His friend questions what he means. Fujimori-kun explains that if he says something unusual, it might leave a lasting impression and make people think he is interesting. His friend asks whether he is sacrificing more than he gains. The friend then suggests that they go home and tells Fujimori-kun to catch up. Fujimori-kun follows behind at a slower pace. He asks what they will be doing on Sunday and whether they will meet in front of the station at 10. His friend agrees. Suddenly, one of the lockers near the classroom opens. Kurumi is inside, her face flushed red. She has been eavesdropping and recording everything Fujimori-kun said. Kurumi is obsessed with him and feels determined not to let him down. She peeks through the locker door and watches him leave. After getting the recording she wanted, she stops recording and replays his voice saying good morning. Her face immediately flushes as she feels satisfied. When she gets home, she listens to the recording repeatedly while lying on her bed. She finds comfort in hearing his voice and thinks he is funny. This only deepens her attraction to Fujimori-kun. The next day, she tells Fujimori-kun that he is funny. The comment catches him completely off guard, leaving him stunned. As she takes her seat, she tells him to say hi again sometime. He quickly agrees, still in shock, while his friend is equally confused by what just happened. The friend tells Fujimori-kun that he understands how serious he is and offers to help him. Fujimori-kun calls his friend by name Yamamura. Fujimori-kun then agrees to help Yamamura as well, saying he will teach him how to get along with girls. Yamamura reacts in surprise and says he looks forward to Sunday. Kurumi quietly records everything. Fujimori-kun asks again about their Sunday plans and Yamamura confirms they will meet in front of the station at 10. On Sunday, Yamamura suddenly boasts that women are easy and claims that 10 girls confessed to him the previous day. Fujimori-kun is shocked and says that it is amazing. Yamamura then offers to teach him some tips as well. Fujimori-kun is impressed and wonders if he could also have 10 girls confess to him. Suddenly, someone hands Fujimori-kun an item and he thanks them. The person is wearing a cat mascot head. It is Kurumi inside, though neither of the boys realizes it. At a cafe, Fujimori-kun thanks Yamamura for helping him buy new books, admitting that he could not have done it alone. Yamamura brushes it off casually. Fujimori-kun then thanks him for taking him to a cafe as well, saying it is his first time visiting one with a friend. He asks if Yamamura still has time. Yamamura replies that his girls might get upset if he does not respond soon. Fujimori-kun asks to hear more about them. Yamamura pulls out his phone and shows him the messages. Although they look like spam or bot messages, Yamamura confidently claims that 3 people confessed to him today. Fujimori-kun is impressed by what his friend says. In the same cafe, Kurumi is sitting far away from them, wearing a black hoodie so she will not be noticed. She listens to their conversation from a distance. Yamamura explains to Fujimori that all he does is post on social media, but that it is a real hassle. Fujimori then says that he wonders if he could become friends with Kurumi-san as well. Yamamura responds that it would be easy. He suddenly gives advice, saying that the way to win a woman's heart is to show off. This confuses Fujimori. Yamamura continues, explaining that all he has to do is go on and on about something he is good at right in front of her, and everything will work out. Fujimori asks if that is really true. Yamamura replies that it is all he has been doing. Impressed, Fujimori decides to write the advice down. Kurumi continues listening from a distance, unbothered. Her face suddenly flushes red as she wishes to know Fujimori's favorites. Yamamura tells Fujimori that if there is something that contrasts with his usual image, it can create a gap as well. Fujimori tries to think of something he is good at, but nothing comes to mind. Suddenly, the 2 boys from earlier appear and call out to Kurumi-san. Fujimori immediately notices and turns around. One of the boys questions Kurumi-san about why she is alone at a cafe and says that it is cool. The other boy urges him to hurry up, reminding him that they are supposed to be going somewhere. Fujimori is shocked to realize that Kurumi is nearby. The boy continues interrupting her, asking if she is bored and whether she has time to go shopping with them. She calmly declines. Fujimori remains in disbelief that Kurumi-san is in the same cafe, along with the intimidating boy from his class. The boy keeps talking, bragging about going to karaoke earlier and complaining that the staff were introverted losers who ruined the mood. He adds that it was a total buzzkill and asks whether talking to introverted people is not exhausting. Those words pierce straight through Fujimori's heart. Fujimori tries to hide himself so the intimidating boy does not notice him. Yamamura watches Fujimori in confusion, then notices Kurumi as well. The boy continues complaining, saying that the experience ruined his precious vacation. His friend repeatedly tells him to hurry up, but he keeps talking. Fujimori wants to be friends with Kurumi-san, yet he believes she probably dislikes being approached by someone like him. He suddenly tells Yamamura that they should leave. Yamamura responds in confusion, pointing out that Kurumi is in the same cafe. Fujimori explains that it is difficult to talk to her and that he believes Kurumi-san wants to enjoy her vacation peacefully. He feels that speaking to her would only annoy her. The intimidating boy continues bothering Kurumi, asking if she wants to go play somewhere. She tells him that she does not want to go with him. He insists on staying with her anyway, and she firmly tells him to stop. Fujimori can hear everything. He worries that she might not want to talk to him and fears that even if he approached her, he would only create an awkward situation and cause trouble. Kurumi suddenly tells the boy to give it a rest and stop forcing things. Fujimori abruptly stands up and declares that he does not think what the boy is doing is okay. His sudden outburst surprises everyone, including Kurumi. Yamamura calls Fujimori's name, and the intimidating boy freezes in shock. The boy rushes toward Fujimori, calling him a gloomy introvert and demanding to know what he meant by not okay. Fujimori is terrified. The boy steps closer, repeating the question. Fujimori can barely move or speak. He mumbles in fear, with tears forming in his eyes. He weakly repeats that he does not think it is okay. Suddenly, he blurts out something about the recent FPS update. Everyone stares at Fujimori in confusion. The intimidating boy is equally puzzled. Fujimori explains that gaming is his hobby, but the games he enjoys constantly receive updates, and there are simply too many of them. He adds that he is good at FPS games. He continues, saying that while it is not a bad thing and he enjoys playing, he feels that the powerful weapons should be nerfed for now. The boy angrily tells him to stop talking, calling it creepy and asking what any of it even means. When Fujimori tries to continue explaining, the boy snaps, saying he has heard enough. He then walks away with his friend. Kurumi's face flushes red as she watches Fujimori. Fujimori is left breathing heavily, while Yamamura tries to clarify what his advice was actually meant to imply. Suddenly, Kurumi stands up from her table and calls Fujimori's name. She approaches him and thanks him. Fujimori freezes in disbelief. Both he and Yamamura are stunned. Yamamura urges Fujimori to take this chance to become friends with Kurumi-san and encourages him to speak. Kurumi stands there quietly, waiting. Fujimori almost repeats what he said earlier about FPS games, but Yamamura quickly stops him. Instead, Fujimori asks Kurumi if she would like to be friends. His hands shake as he adds that if it is not too much trouble for her, he would really like to be friends with her. While bowing and waiting for her answer, her face turns red. She takes his trembling hand and thanks him, smiling as she says she is happy that he spoke to her. Fujimori is instantly flattered by her words. However, just as everything seems to be going well, she suddenly apologizes and says that she does not want to be friends with him. She immediately walks away, leaving him confused. At home, Kurumi reflects on the day, believing that she does not want her flaws to show. She looks through images while commenting on how cute Fujimori's casual clothes were, the cover of the new book he bought, his first time visiting a cafe with friends, and his favorite FPS games. She wants to remain someone he admires. That is why she feels she cannot get any closer than this. Her face flushes red as she whispers that today was another happy day. Meanwhile, Fujimori questions whether they might have become friends if he had talked about manga instead of games, or if holding hands had changed anything. Yamamura watches him and remarks that he was pretty brave for saying all of that. At school, the students are asked to take their seats. Fujimori looks at the piece of paper in his hand and notes that seat 18 is 10 seats back by the window. He feels lucky to have drawn that seat. When he reaches it, he realizes that he is sitting next to Kurumi-san. He stares at her in disbelief, hardly able to process that it is really her. He tries to calm himself, wondering if there was even a possibility that she would be seated beside him. Although Fujimori was unable to become friends with Kurumi, sitting next to her might give him a chance to get along with her better. As she takes her seat, he cannot help but stare. When she briefly looks at him, he immediately bows and blurts out that he looks forward to working with her, introducing himself as Fujimori. He continues bowing as she says nothing. He remains frozen in that position, overwhelmed by embarrassment and wishing he could disappear. Eventually, he straightens up and tries to explain his behavior, but Kurumi simply says that she knows. Relief washes over him, grateful that he does not need to explain further. Inside, he feels so happy that it almost overwhelms him. At the same time, he cannot help but notice how cool and attractive Kurumi looks. She turns her face away, her cheeks flushed red, clearly flattered by what he did earlier. He continues looking at her, but she remains silent, staring in the opposite direction. Suddenly, the intimidating boy from his class loudly announces that it is a great seat and that he is jealous. Fujimori is caught off guard. The boy approaches him and remarks that Fujimori is lucky to have a seat by the back window, while he is stuck near the teacher's desk. With a threatening expression, the boy leans closer and asks Fujimori to switch seats with him. Fujimori grows nervous and says nothing. The boy raises his voice, claiming that Fujimori embarrassed him the other day and that it is only fair for him to switch seats. Terrified, Fujimori feels pressured to agree with whatever the bully says. The boy then turns to Kurumi and asks who she would prefer to sit next to. Kurumi looks at him quietly before responding that she does not care, as long as there is a proper lottery and no arguments. She adds that if they are going to exchange tickets, they should hurry up. Her response surprises Fujimori. The bully begins pushing Fujimori, insisting that even Kurumi-san agrees, so they should switch seats. Fujimori tries to speak but is cut off as the bully claims it is obvious that sitting next to someone fun would be better. He adds that everyone would be disappointed if Fujimori were next to them. Fujimori hesitantly says that Kurumi-san would probably be disappointed to sit beside someone like him. The bully mocks him, saying no one wants to sit next to a boring boy like Fujimori. He presses his hand against Fujimori, demanding the ticket and asking if Kurumi agrees. Kurumi looks over and softly says his name. Fujimori hesitates, sensing that she is about to say something, but the bully continues pushing him to give up. Fujimori finally speaks up, saying that he does not want to switch. Kurumi notices his words and looks at him. He repeats that he does not want to give up his seat for anyone and apologizes to the bully. Kurumi-san's face suddenly flushes red. She stands up without warning, startling Fujimori. The bully shouts again, telling Fujimori to hand over the ticket and mocking him for whining. He insists that a seat in the back is far too good for someone like Fujimori. The bully suddenly realizes that Fujimori does not have the ticket and demands to know where it is. Still confused, he is abruptly pulled back by his friend, who drags him toward his seat while he continues shouting. The friend tells him to stop bothering Fujimori-kun. Fujimori stands there in disbelief, shocked that he managed to refuse. Relieved, he turns toward Kurumi and apologizes for causing a scene, adding that he hopes they can get along from now on. However, Kurumi has already left her seat, and all Fujimori sees beside him is an empty chair. Kurumi is in the school restroom, breathing heavily with something covering her face. In her mind, she replays what just happened, especially the moment when Fujimori refused to give up his seat, saying he did not want to hand it over to anyone. She grips a plastic bag tightly as she continues breathing heavily. Inside the bag is Fujimori's ticket, which she secretly took. She repeats to herself that she does not want to give it up to anyone. As she walks back to class, she whispers that she will not give it up either. She takes out her handbook and slips the ticket inside. Tucked within the handbook is also a picture of Fujimori. She smiles warmly at it. Suddenly, a girl appears behind her and asks what she is looking at. Kurumi turns around to see that it is Tomo. Tomo smiles and asks to see what Kurumi-san was looking at. With her natural glossy hair and no makeup, Tomomi Fukuda's charm lies in her perfectly crafted, adorable plainness. She also has a bright smile. Tomo walks up to Yamamura, flashing her cute smile and asking to borrow a colored pen. He immediately agrees, his face flushing as he instantly falls for her. She thanks him and walks away. Yamamura is left wondering why she chose him and whether there is a chance she likes him. Meanwhile, Tomo walks off, thinking it was easy to get what she wanted. Tomo was an introvert killer. Back with Kurumi, Tomo continues asking about the picture Kurumi was looking at earlier. Tomo and Kurumi have been friends since junior high. Cool, beautiful, and precious friends. Kurumi finally responds that it is nothing special. As Tomo steps closer and places her hands on Kurumi's shoulders, Kurumi accidentally drops her notebook. Tomo bends down to help pick it up and notices a picture of Fujimori. She is surprised. Kurumi freezes, realizing her secret may have been exposed. Tomo wonders why her friend has a picture of a boy. She questions whether Kurumi might like the boy in the photo, calling him Four Eyes in her thoughts. Deciding to act normal, Tomo smiles and asks if Kurumi picked up something that someone lost, praising her kindness. Kurumi lets out a small sound, her face turning red as she looks shy. Tomo is confused by her reaction and wonders why her friend would respond that way. Though she finds it cute, Tomo refuses to jump to conclusions. As Tomo continues picking up the scattered pages, she notices even more photos of Fujimori. Kurumi watches from behind, tense. Tomo feels awkward and unsettled by the sheer number of pictures. Looking at Kurumi, she says she will cooperate if it is for her sake. Suddenly, Tomo stands up and exclaims that she understands everything now. She rushes toward Kurumi, shouting that there is no way she should think so little of herself. Kurumi hurriedly tells her not to shout so loudly. Tomo then questions why, of all people, Kurumi decided to like that plain-looking Four Eyes, Fujimori. She adds that he does not suit her at all and insists that Kurumi needs a high-spec hottie. Kurumi shows no reaction or interest in the criticism. Instead, she calmly asks Tomo whether she dislikes plain guys as well, since she seems to attract them. Tomo immediately denies it. She explains that it is only her current goal. A high-spec introvert who aims to attend a prestigious university, comes from a wealthy family, is average-looking, and would never cheat. She declares everyone else is just an NPC. She then loudly states that Fujimori falls into the NPC category and that she cannot accept it. Kurumi comments that Tomo is difficult to understand. Frustrated, Tomo suddenly heads toward Kurumi's classroom, saying she wants to see what kind of person Kurumi has a crush on. This abrupt action makes Kurumi panic. She starts questioning whether Tomo is really going to see him, but Tomo responds that she is simply worried and wants to make sure he is the right person for Kurumi. Kurumi says that she understands and asks whether Tomo plans to observe the boy she likes from a distance. Tomo remains silent. Kurumi-san is precious to Tomo. She is her first female friend. Tomo recalls a moment from the past, when she was in the school restroom and overheard other students speaking badly about her, calling her a show-off and accusing her of flirting with many boys. Tomo had been quietly listening while using the restroom, wishing they would stop talking and leave her alone. Felt difficult to even leave the restroom at the time. The two girls then asked Kurumi whether she agreed with their opinions. Kurumi simply responded with, "Really?" The question confused them. Kurumi then added that she sometimes changes her attitude to be liked by others and asked whether that was strange. The girls nervously agreed that it was not. Tomo continued listening from the stall. One of the girls then remarked that Kurumi had just transferred to the school and probably did not know much about Tomo. The girls continued criticizing her, calling her blatant, cringy, and accusing her of using a fake voice. Kurumi asked whether that bothered anyone. The girls were left speechless and struggled to continue speaking badly about Tomo. Kurumi calmly said that she thought it was fine. Hearing this made Tomo happy as she listened in silence. This is why Kurumi became Tomo's first female friend and why Tomo treasures her so deeply. She wants Kurumi's first boyfriend to be someone truly good, someone who will make her happy. As Tomo enters the classroom and looks toward Fujimori, she sees him sitting with his friend Yamamura. Fujimori is showing Yamamura information about a Magic Star Serena collaboration cafe. Tomo begins to feel that despite Fujimori's appearance, he might actually be a high-spec individual. Fujimori excitedly talks about new official merchandise being released next month and laments that he no longer has enough pocket money. He says it cannot be helped and jokingly calls it divine will, declaring that he will dedicate all his wealth to Tsuminten. After witnessing this, Tomo concludes that she cannot leave Kurumi in Fujimori's hands. Kurumi asks whether Tomo is satisfied. Tomo snaps back, asking why Kurumi is acting smug and insisting that she is obviously not satisfied with what she saw. She tells Kurumi to open her eyes and claims that if she is going to date someone, it must be a high-spec hottie. Yamamura suddenly notices them standing by the door and Tomo realizes that he is staring. Yamamura strikes an exaggerated pose to draw attention. Tomo becomes convinced that Kurumi must prefer handsome, high-spec guys over introverts like Fujimori. Noticing Yamamura's strange posture, Tomo suspects he is thinking something self-important. Deciding she will not allow it, she walks toward him. Kurumi tries to stop her, but Tomo is already approaching Yamamura and Fujimori. As she gets closer, Tomo calls out to Yamamura, causing his face to flush red. She puts on a cute expression and suddenly asks both Yamamura and Fujimori if they would like to have lunch with them the next day. The unexpected invitation surprises both boys. Yamamura immediately agrees and confirms that Fujimori will come as well. Fujimori nods and agrees. With a bright smile, Tomo says she does not know why, but she felt like cheering them on. Deep down, however, she knows she will not hand Kurumi over to someone like Fujimori. Still maintaining her cute expression, she adds that since they have not properly talked yet, eating together would help them understand each other better. Despite her cheerful words, Tomo does not approve of Fujimori dating Kurumi. After that, she walks back to Kurumi, calling her name. Tomo's plan is to humiliate Fujimori in front of Kurumi during their lunch together. She believes this is the only way to bring Kurumi back to her senses. The next day, during break time, a student tells Tomo that he received extra pocket money from his father and asks if she would like to go to the cafeteria with him. With her charming smile, Tomo politely apologizes and explains that she has something important to do that day, suggesting they go another time. The boy becomes excited at the mention of next time, and Tomo feels relieved, thinking how easy it was. She reminds herself that today is an important day, the day she will protect Kurumi's happiness. As they sit down to eat, Tomo asks Kurumi if they can swap side dishes. Fujimori and Yamamura quietly watch the two girls. Tomo studies the seating arrangement and reaffirms to herself that she will never hand Kurumi over to someone like Fujimori. Fujimori starts mumbling and asks why they suddenly decided to have lunch together. Out of nowhere, Yamamura bluntly says that he has been quiet for a while, but the truth is that Tomo is in love with him. This statement shocks Fujimori. He begins analyzing everything, while Tomo does not react or comment on what Yamamura just said. Tomo then turns her attention to Fujimori, saying that she does not know anything about him. She asks if there is anything he is good at. Fujimori immediately freezes, unable to think of an answer, and asks what she means by anything. This prompts Tomo to bombard him with questions: what his hobbies are, what his best subject is, whether he has any special skills, which extracurricular activity he has continued the longest, what achievements he has, which sport he is best at, his class rank in the last midterms, and whether he has any particular fashion preferences. She suddenly asks if he has no redeeming qualities at all. This question shatters his confidence, leaving him unable to respond. Meanwhile, Yamamura tries to change the subject by talking to Tomo about a video game, but she ignores him. Fujimori suddenly blurts out that he admires Kurumi-san for always being so dignified. This unexpected comment surprises Tomo. She asks Kurumi if she heard that and whether she disliked what she just heard, adding that Fujimori has no redeeming qualities. Tomo desperately tries to push Kurumi into rejecting him. Kurumi responds quietly, asking if that is really the case. She then says that she does not have anything she is proud of either and asks if that is strange. Tomo is taken aback by this response. She insists that Kurumi is different, smart, and athletic, unlike Fujimori, who supposedly has no redeeming qualities. Kurumi calmly asks whether Fujimori's qualities are going to bother anyone. This response triggers a sudden realization in Tomo. Kurumi adds that she does not mind and believes that if something does not negatively affect anyone, then it is fine. Tomo is left in disbelief as nothing goes according to her plan. Frustrated, she says that nothing about this is good. Kurumi counters by stating that Fujimori is actually high-spec and absolutely better. Fujimori watches in disbelief as Kurumi steps in to defend him, viewing her as nothing short of a goddess. Still unwilling to accept Fujimori, Tomo abruptly says that she wants milk tea. Fujimori and Yamamura are both startled and ask if she really said milk tea. Yamamura quickly responds that it cannot be helped as he was also craving a drink and offers to buy it. Fujimori agrees to go with him. Tomo does not want to see Fujimori's face at the moment. Kurumi notices that Tomo seems down and softly calls her name. As Fujimori and Yamamura head downstairs to buy the drinks, Fujimori reflects on how enjoyable lunch with Kurumi-san was. Even though he barely spoke, everything tasted delicious. Still, he wonders if he might have done something wrong. As they walk downstairs, Fujimori suddenly hears a loud noise and looks up, startled. Yamamura urges him to hurry. A dark figure suddenly appears, which Yamamura notices while Fujimori mentions that he accidentally brought his lunchbox with him. It turns out to be the boy whose invitation Tomo rejected earlier. He angrily calls out to Tomo, complaining that she had lunch with another guy. He acts as if they were dating, accusing her of turning him down only to eat with a dull, poor-looking boy. Tomo looks confused, clearly unsure who he is. She tries to calm him down, wondering if she might have forgotten about him somehow. As he throws objects in anger, she recognizes the signs of domestic violence and realizes this is someone she should distance herself from. The boy becomes increasingly furious and raises his hand as if to strike her. Kurumi immediately steps in, calling out to him and telling him to stop. She explains that violence only causes suffering for both sides. Fujimori watches from a distance, deeply impressed by Kurumi standing up for her friend. He reflects that sometimes there is nothing you can do but watch. The boy continues shouting at Tomo, saying that what he hates most are women like her who think they are smart, accusing her of using her looks to look down on others. His words trigger a painful memory for Tomo. She tells him to stop saying such things, which only angers him further. She realizes that she has snapped back at him. Tomo then tells the boy that if he wants to hit someone, he should hit her instead, since Kurumi has nothing to do with it. Fujimori continues watching, frozen. The boy shouts that Tomo is being arrogant and swings his fist. Tomo rushes forward to shield Kurumi. At that moment, Fujimori gathers his courage and charges toward the boy, yelling for him to stop. He accidentally steps on a bottle, and the lunchbox he is carrying flies forward and hits the boy in the face. Tomo and Kurumi watch in shock as everything unfolds. The boy becomes hysterical. Fujimori tries to apologize, but the boy is too angry to listen. Suddenly, the boy runs away in tears, shouting that he is going to his mother. The scene leaves everyone stunned and confused. Witnessing this, Tomo decides that from now on, she will stop being overly friendly with everyone. She realizes she just encountered a domestic abuser and a mama's boy. Fujimori nervously calls Tomo's name and asks if she is okay. He panics, explaining that he only came back because he forgot something and that he wishes he had left earlier, but he was scared. Tomo stares at him, trembling. He continues rambling, admitting that he rushed in recklessly and made a mistake. He says that he is just like her, a person who cannot do anything properly, and that someone else could have handled it better. Before he finishes, Tomo snaps at him to stop being noisy and asks if he is stupid. Fujimori is startled by her outburst. Tomo then scolds him, asking what he thought he could do against someone so angry and out of control. She says that it was fortunate the boy left without a fight because otherwise Fujimori might have been the one getting hurt. She adds that she could have handled it herself. Fujimori apologizes. After venting her frustration, Tomo thanks him. Fujimori is left confused. Tomo then takes Kurumi by the hand and says they should return to class. As they leave, Tomo turns back and apologizes to Fujimori. Yamamura arrives shortly after, confused about why they are leaving. As Tomo and Kurumi walk back to class, Tomo apologizes for judging Fujimori based on appearances and admits that she knows it made Kurumi uncomfortable. Kurumi reassures her that it is fine. That response warms Tomo's heart. She then asks Kurumi what she was about to say earlier. Kurumi calmly explains that Fujimori's hobbies are manga and video games. His best subject is Japanese, and he scored 89 points on the last midterms. His special skill is pen spinning. He practiced calligraphy for 4 years starting in his second year of elementary school, and his work was displayed at an exhibition by upperclassmen. His best sport is swimming. He ranked 145th out of 324 students in the midterms, and his mother chooses his clothes. As Kurumi says all of this, her face turns red. Tomo is left completely stunned, unable to process how much Kurumi knows about him. Kurumi then gently reminds her that she said she wanted to know everything. So that is everything. The next day at school, Tomo's image of Kurumi changes slightly. In class, the teacher asks whether everyone has received their handouts. He then explains that they will be making a report in pairs with their seatmate. At home, Kurumi's mother looks over her results and tells her that she is proud of her. She adds that at yesterday's meeting hall, the organizer said it was because Kurumi prays so earnestly every day. She confirms that God is truly watching over them. She then reminds Kurumi to fix her hair properly, otherwise people might think she is gloomy again. Smiling brightly, Kurumi agrees as she fixes her hair and says she is heading to school. After leaving home, she stops at a restroom near the station before going to school and adjusts her hair to her liking, feeling relieved. She comments that tying her hair up leaves marks and honestly thinks that something so simple can put someone in a good mood. She reflects that people are surprisingly simple-minded while looking at the handout for the project. She looks forward to the field trip. The teacher explained that during next month's trip, they will work on the report with their seatmate. Kurumi's seatmate is Fujimori. The teacher also instructs them to decide on a topic for their report during break. Fujimori turns to Kurumi and tells her that he is looking forward to working with her, adding that if there is a topic she wants to do, he will gladly follow her lead. She looks at him and says she feels the same way. Fujimori is instantly flattered and thinks she is beautiful. He repeats that he looks forward to working with her, and she gently reminds him that he already said that. Fujimori remembers how much he messed up the day before, but he is relieved that it does not seem like Kurumi dislikes him. He is glad to have the chance to talk to her and hopes to ask her to be friends again. Smiling, he feels genuinely happy and wants to show even the slightest interest. Suddenly, he pulls out his favorite character book from his desk and panics, trying to hide it. He realizes he mistakenly brought a Magica Star Selena book instead of a textbook. He had put it into his bag without checking properly. He worries that if this continues, Kurumi will be put off before he can show his good side. Kurumi watches him, noticing his strange behavior. Fujimori realizes he does not have his textbook and wonders what he should do. Kurumi continues staring quietly before asking if he forgot his textbook, adding that she can show him hers. Her kindness overwhelms him. He asks if that is really okay, and she responds that he would be in trouble without it anyway. She then says she will move her desk closer to his. The teacher instructs the class to turn to page 52. Fujimori cannot help noticing how close Kurumi is now. She asks him to turn the page for her, and he does so, his face turning red. Up close, he notices every detail about her. Her long eyelashes and the shape of her nose. She asks if he can see properly and whether she should hold the book up more. Fujimori cannot believe that his idol, Kurumi-san, is talking to him at such close range. When the teacher asks for the answer to question 4, she immediately responds that it is 3. Fujimori is impressed, finding her response cool. Everything about her feels dignified and perfect in his eyes. He starts to feel that even wanting to be friends with her might be presumptuous. She seems to belong to a completely different world. He notices how much she writes in her textbook and finds it impressive. Despite the heavy workload, she has gone above and beyond, just as expected of her. He also notices a small cat doodle and sees that the letters at the end of the page seem to dance. He blurts out that it is surprising, and she realizes he was looking at her book. She tells him to wait, saying it is not what it looks like. She explains that she scribbled while half asleep and begins erasing it, but he tells her that she does not need to. She then asks him to forget about it. He keeps looking at her, thinking that he does not mind the doodles at all. He wonders if the cat might be Manhwa from earlier. She seems distracted and does not respond to him, and he apologizes for mumbling to himself. She avoids looking at him, and he wonders whether she is embarrassed or if he is imagining things. Looking away, he admits that he is somehow happy. He realizes there is something normal about her, just like him. It is unexpected, but that makes it even nicer. He adds that she probably does not like being with someone like him, and that somehow makes it feel even more special. He apologizes in case he upset her and continues wondering if she is embarrassed after all. He is surprised to see that she does show when she is embarrassed. He then says that he has been thinking and that he would like to get to know her better. She suddenly shuts him down again, saying it is better if he does not know. Her cold response surprises him. She adds that he does not need to know anything about her. Confused, he asks what she means. At that moment, the teacher appears, clearly annoyed that Kurumi and Fujimori are talking during class. He asks for the answer to part 3 of question 6. Fujimori panics, caught off guard. The teacher scolds them, asking whether the class is really so easy that they can spend time chatting. Fujimori stutters and Kurumi calmly answers that the correct answer is 4. Fujimori continues admiring her. After school, Fujimori is still dizzy with emotion when Yamamura asks if they should head home. Fujimori feels happy about being able to talk so much with Kurumi-san. He responds to Yamamura, adding that he is also excited to read his Magica Star Selena book at home, so he plans to leave right away. Suddenly, he checks his bag and panics. The book is gone. He realizes he left it on his desk. Yamamura asks if he should just go ahead without him. Fujimori thinks back to Kurumi's earlier reaction, but he is confident that they will become friends during the field trip. He tells Yamamura to go on ahead and says he will catch up later. In classroom 1 to 3, Kurumi remains behind, with several items laid out on her desk. She examines Fujimori's book, scans it to check where she can buy it and its price, and immediately places an order for the same book. She takes out a plastic bag used for storing items and writes on it, "Textbook Fujimori-kun touched." She comments that she learned a lot today as well. Putting on gloves, she carefully prepares to handle the book, her face flushed with happiness as she whispers how happy she is. She gently places the book inside the bag and lets out a relieved sigh. Unbeknownst to her, Fujimori witnesses everything from the doorway. He quickly closes the door, utterly stunned, confused, and shaken by what he just saw. The next day, Kurumi is asked by the teacher to read the next part of the book. Everyone watches her in disbelief, impressed by how beautifully she reads. After finishing, she sits down and Fujimori is once again amazed by how brilliant and composed she is, just as always. Then Fujimori is asked to read next. As he stands up, a flashback from the previous day rushes through his mind. He wonders if Kurumi is disgusted by him, remembering how she handled his book with gloves. The teacher calls his name, noticing that he has not started reading. Fujimori thinks about how he got carried away and misunderstood everything. He cannot stop thinking about the fact that she needed gloves just to touch his notebook. The teacher walks closer, but Fujimori remains lost in thought. He keeps questioning why Kurumi would be so repulsed by him. Why would she feel that way? Suddenly, Kurumi speaks up, asking if he is all right. Fujimori notices that the teacher is now right beside him and realizes that he has messed up once again. During break time, Fujimori shouts in frustration, asking if there is any way he can improve Kurumi-san's impression of him. Yamamura asks where this sudden worry is coming from. Fujimori explains that he cannot put it into words, but he feels that Kurumi might think he is useless and that she may be disgusted by him. Yamamura agrees, and Fujimori says that is exactly why he plans to fix things during the school trip. He begins imagining the school trip. In his fantasy, Kurumi drops her pen and asks him to pass it to her. He picks it up and performs a pen-spinning trick, impressing her. He even imagines himself confidently explaining that it is his special move, the Grand Monsoon Cyclone, and Kurumi reacting in amazement. He asks Yamamura what he thinks of the idea, and Yamamura bluntly tells him that it is terrible. Nearby, Kurumi is secretly listening from behind some bushes. She wants to see what Fujimori described and is curious about what he is good at. She imagines his smug expression and wonders how things ended up this way, questioning whether she had been too harsh on him. Suddenly, Tomo appears and tells the two Four Eyes to move aside. Yamamura is instantly captivated by her and comments that she must be playing hard to get, asking if she is an intriguing woman. Tomo fires back, saying that she is not as intriguing as his face. Hearing this exchange, Fujimori asks Tomo if she has always been like this. Tomo replies that she is being careful about who she flirts with now, which means they are off the list. She quickly grows irritated and tells Fujimori to move because he is blocking the vending machine. Fujimori apologizes. Yamamura jumps in, saying that he was just listening to Fujimori's ongoing struggles, adding that Fujimori is the type of person who refuses help from others. Tomo asks what kind of love struggles he is talking about. Fujimori quickly responds that it is not really about love, but about relationships between people. He explains that he wants to improve Kurumi-san's impression of him or something like that. Tomo looks at him silently. She then asks if something happened. Fujimori stutters before answering that nothing specific occurred, but he feels that Kurumi hates him. He goes on to list his flaws, saying that he is gloomy, uninteresting, weak, and not cool at all. He recalls realizing the other day that there is nothing special about him, and that Kurumi even saw him bringing a Magica Star Selena fan book to school. He says it would not be surprising if she were disgusted by him. If she truly sees him that badly, then it is not just a bad reputation but a genuine impression. He continues rambling without stopping. Tomo suddenly snaps at him to stop talking to himself so loudly because it is annoying. Fujimori responds that he is not talking to himself. Kurumi finds the exchange oddly adorable. Tomo cannot help but wonder how Kurumi could possibly fall for someone like Fujimori. Yamamura then says that if someone dislikes the real you, there is nothing you can do about it. He adds that if the goal is to make someone fall for a fake version of yourself, your true nature will eventually come out. He pauses, about to continue explaining what he really means. Yamamura suddenly says that he loves Tomo even without her false kindness. Tomo stares at him, stunned, not expecting him to say that. He continues, telling her not to misunderstand. He loves her kind persona as well. However, her cold manner, her pure and unfiltered self is something he has come to love even more. He adds that his feelings for her have not changed at all, so she does not need to worry. Tomo asks if what he is saying means that pretending is pointless. Yamamura responds that if someone does not love the real you, then of course it is. He adds that everything about her is fine just the way it is, and that she is amazing without having to pretend. Hearing this, Tomo suddenly shows her cheerful side and asks if he knows that she spends at least an hour every morning on styling and makeup before school. Yamamura is clearly impressed. She adds that every day she goes for the no makeup look. At school, she only drinks milk. She explains that she does all of this to play the role of the perfect cutie. Tomo continues, saying that everyone pretends to some extent to become the person they want to be. So even if people love that version of you, she sees no problem with it because those efforts are also part of who you are. Fujimori tries to say something, but Yamamura cuts in, agreeing with Tomo and saying that he thinks the same way. He adds that the two of them are perfect for each other. Kurumi continues listening quietly from the bushes. She feels glad that Fujimori wants to be friends with her. Tomo then thanks both Fujimori and Yamamura. Kurumi decides to maintain the distance she currently has with Fujimori, believing that this is what allows both of them to live happily. Tomo, on the other hand, decides to be honest with herself, realizing that pretending only makes things more complicated. Fujimori admits that he is clumsy and says that he genuinely wants to change. That is why he refuses to pretend to be someone else just so people will love him. He says that he simply wants to become a little better. He wants to fix everything he dislikes about himself, and he adds that this change is also for his own sake. Kurumi feels that everything about Fujimori is already perfect and that there is no need for him to change at all. From a distance, her heart silently begs him not to change. Tomo agrees to help Fujimori, reminding him not to forget that he will owe her one. She then announces that she will tell him his biggest flaw, the one thing he absolutely must fix. Fujimori is shocked that he even has a biggest flaw. Kurumi desperately does not want him to change, believing she is the only one who truly loves him as he is. Tomo bluntly declares that Fujimori's biggest flaw is his face. This statement stuns everyone listening. She quickly clarifies that, more specifically, he needs to fix his overall appearance. Fujimori is taken aback. Tomo adds that she is not talking about plastic surgery or anything extreme, just learning to look more put together. She explains that this alone could boost his coolness by at least 50%. Both Fujimori and Yamamura are shocked by this claim. Fujimori then asks her to teach him how to do it. Tomo begins explaining her plan. Meanwhile, Kurumi finds herself curious. She wants to see this new version of Fujimori, the cool Fujimori.